Hello, it's Lisa again, and here we are on the third week of August already. So far this month, we have been working with Genesis and talking about all the wonderful things that God made. So if you look at our beautiful mural here with our fancy artwork, the first week we learned about plants and flowers and land. The second week, last week, we talked about the sun and all of the different things that are in the sky. And this week is going to be super fun because we are going to be talking about animals. And in case you're wondering, that's a line. So this week we're going to be talking about animals and how God made all the animals. So the activities this week are going to be pretty funny. So the first thing, everybody should have a random assortment of plastic animals in your bucket. And if you don't mind, when you're done with this activity, make sure you put these back in your bucket so we can keep them in the animal storage bin so they don't get lost in all of the rooms with all of the toys. So everybody has some animals, so we're going to play an animal hide and seek game. So have everybody close their eyes and then just kind of toss the animals around the room and then say, open your eyes and see if you can find some animals. So then they'll just kind of run around and find some animals and bring them back to you. And then you can kind of talk about them because the next activity could kind of really come right after this one. It's called Animal Match, and you just kind of sit down with them and describe some animals and see if they can figure out what animal you're talking about, or let them describe the animals and you have to guess. And you can use these, or you can just talk about it in your group or whatever, but that should be fun, getting their imaginations going and just really talking to them about how the animals are all different and how God made all of the animals. And the third activity is called Memory Verse Animals, and in this one you stay sitting down with them and you pick an animal and you say, we're going to say the memory verse, and then so you say, you have done great and wonderful things, lion, and then they all have to roar. They say, you have done great and wonderful things, cat, and they have to meow. So that's continuing with the animal sounds and reinforcing the verse that we've been working on for the past 2 weeks. And the last activity, the transition activity, could be very entertaining. This is when you're walking from class to class, or you just have some downtime in your room. You can do the memory verse in animal voices. So you can meow the verse, or woof the verse, or roar the verse, or however you want to work the animal sounds again into the memory verse. So that could be pretty funny. And that gets them going and that gets them engaged because they like to make noise, they like to make sounds, they like to make animal sounds, but it's also bringing the memory verse into it again and just really reinforcing about how all of these things that God made are very wonderful. And then the craft this week is super cute and also very easy. We've got 3 animals and noses. And so everybody will get a piece of paper and a nose, and then they have to match the nose to the animal. So that should be fun and pretty easy. So not a mess like the whole plants a couple weeks ago. So this one's a little neater and cleaner, but it should be also pretty fun. So that's it for this week. Bye.